was day one of the hunt. I've been up for about an hour. It's almost 5, and excited to go. Couldn't sleep much last night, which is pretty typical. The weather forecast is for rain this morning. I looked out about 4 and saw that there was lightning off to the south, and so it looks like there's a big storm coming, so we're probably going to get wet. My plan is to go up the canyon where I saw all the elk sign yesterday and maybe run into a bull. I hope so. Might get wet. Probably so. The rain came in as promised, and my son-in-law and I hiked up the canyon where I'd seen all the sign, and I guess we must have spooked some bulls. They crossed the canyon, but they weren't spooked too bad. Stopped and started feeding in a clearing. It's 5 bulls, none of them big. So we crossed the canyon, went after them, but they went into the dark timber before we could get there. So, taking a little break now. I'm going to head back to camp and then come back here this afternoon when they wake up, and hopefully we'll be a greeting party for them. So it's time to catch you up on the video record of my hunt. So it's now day 2, but I'll finish yesterday out. Yesterday afternoon, after spotting 5 bulls up on a mountain ready to go to bed, we came back in the afternoon, and my son-in-law got up on a tall ridge so he could spot for us. I stayed in the bottom hoping to hear from him, and then my son went around the south side of the tall ridge where we'd seen him, and so I didn't see anything but some deer on my way up. No elk. Met up with my son-in-law, and then finally heard from my son, who had actually topped out on the ridge where we'd seen the elk. And it was getting late in the day. He had a long ways to go, and so as we were looking to try to spot him with our glasses on top of the ridge, we spotted an elk that was way up near the top. Too far for us. We let him know, but it really wasn't where he could see it or get to it. Earlier in the day, he had spotted a couple bulls and had sneaked up on them and had able to get within like 57 yards of one of the little bulls, and he was not comfortable with that shot. His bow seemed brand new bow, seemed to be slightly off after shooting it in camp, and so he was not confident. And so I'm proud of him for making that decision to make the ethical decision and not take the shot. So anyway, still kind of stormy here on day 2. Rained a little bit this morning and was really windy. So came up the same way up the canyon toward the peak that had the bulls on it, and didn't see anything this morning. We had the wind at our back, which was not good, which is not normal for this scenario, except for the weather's been kind of crazy, although the temperature is perfect right now for hunting. And so anyway, we've didn't see any bulls this morning. Got back together, split up again. My son and son-in-law went one way, and I came another way because I wanted to check out this trick tank that we had seen from high up. Didn't even know it was here until we had seen it from the top of another ridge. I'll show you what I mean by trick tank. So this is a water catchment device that the game department has put in. Don't know who was responsible for putting this in. Often the game department, along with conservation groups such as the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation or the Mule Deer Foundation, will go together and put something like this in. We're on Bureau of Land Management property, and so it's public land, but this is specifically for the wildlife. They put this in and they fence it off so cattle can't get to it. I don't know if you can see a fence up there. But anyway, they fenced it off. The wildlife can easily jump the fence and get to it. And I'll move around here and show you where the water comes out. So here's where the water comes out from the trick tank, which is just upstream of it there. And so it just provides a small spot. There's a storage tank and allows a little bit of water to come out of a time for the wildlife. And so in our dry summers here in southwestern United States, this kind of thing is a literal lifesaver for wild game. And it'd be a great place for an ambush, to set up a blind or a tree stand. Only problem is we've had so much rain lately that nothing has been coming in here. There are no fresh tracks whatsoever. So we'll keep this in mind, and if it dries out a little bit the next few days, we come back here again and check it out. So anyway, there's a trick tank. Well, I'm not sure it was a wise thing, but I climbed the ridge I was glassing earlier. So now I'm up on top. So I thought I'd show the view from here. It's day 3 of the 2018 archery elk hunt. And I've moved down south of where we hunted since the first day because the elk have apparently moved out. And so trying to locate where they went. This is a beautiful spot. Has everything they need, so hoping they went this way. This is the area that I scouted the day before season began, and I didn't see any fresh sign in here. But it doesn't mean they haven't moved down here. So climbed a ridge, not nearly as steep as yesterday. I've got plenty of time to hunt around, trying to stay in the shadows because it's really open up here, as you can see. Beautiful. But anyway, hoping to bump into an elk up here and just enjoying my time in God's creation. This is the morning of day 4 of my hunt, and yesterday afternoon late I was high up on a ridge and glassed across the canyon and was able to see some elk. There was I saw 3, there may have been more. They were feeding through the trees. So we got back to camp, pulled our maps out and figured out where they were. And I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, but nowhere near any roads in an area very difficult to get to. So trying to work my way this morning to the area where they are. It's a beautiful morning, clear and sun shining, and I'll give you a view of what I can see. This is where I saw the elk yesterday afternoon from the top of the canyon, or top of the ridge on the other side of the canyon behind me. It was much higher than this. I was looking down on it. But finally located it, found fresh tracks. So I'm sure this is where they were. Of course, it's 10 o'clock in the morning now, and they're all gone to bed. Got a late start this morning, and we weren't sure exactly where we were going. So it took me quite a while to get back in here. But now that I know where it's at, and chances are the elk will be in the area this evening after they wake up. And also found out that there's water less than a mile from here that's kind of hidden. Another game department trick tank. So they've got everything they need. Lots of grass and lots of cover. People aren't bothering them. They got water. So why wouldn't they hang out here? So I just got to figure out how to be here when they're here. Day 4 of my 2018 archery elk hunt. I'm back in the area where I was this morning, where I'd seen the fresh tracks, where I'd seen the elk yesterday from across the canyon. Haven't seen anything yet. I'm up on a high ridge glassing. My son's on another ridge, so hopefully we'll see something. I'll show you the area I've been glassing. Well, it's morning of day 5. We didn't really know what to do because yesterday afternoon, though we were hopeful at the spot we were hunting, we didn't see anything, and it's a really long way over there. And so we decided to hunt close to camp this morning because my son has to leave today to go back and work for a while. And so we went to a spot that we hadn't been before and glassed for quite a long time. Didn't see any elk. We're moving on over to a ridge in the distance where we could glass some more. While we were doing that, we spotted 3 bucks. And since we both had deer tags, we decided to become deer hunters. And we chased those bucks across a couple of ridges, but it's so open in that area. Actually, I don't think they saw us, but it's really rocky, and I'm sure they probably heard us getting in close, possibly even smelled us, but we had a pretty good wind, so they crossed over the next ridge and followed them there. Didn't see where they went. I'm sure they bedded down in some thick stuff, and so it was fun seeing them, fun chasing them, got them on video, so that's all good. I'll go back to camp and make a new plan. the afternoon of day 5, and based on some tips from some friends and my daughter-in-law's hunting experience last December, I drove way around to the far end of the mountain chain that we've been hunting, and it's right next to some plains, and there's really not many trees right in here, although it is very steep. So I'm gonna walk up and see if I can glass a while. I'm way out here by myself, so I don't want to do anything stupid, that's for sure. Show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna walk up there and climb that little ridge and glass over to the far ridge and see what I can see. You can see all those mosquitoes just swarming. And worse than that, when I finally climbed the top of the hill, a lot farther than I thought. Well, you can't see my four-wheeler from here. But I got here and realized where I was, and it was not where I want to be. I could have driven to right there. So, that stinks. Alright, I'm headed back through the mosquitoes again. I think I'll put another shirt on and just sweat it out. Look at those mosquitoes. That is called a bat cave. But I wish those bats would come out and eat some of these mosquitoes. It's morning of day 7. Got up this morning, the sky was cloudy with a few drops of rain. Good thing about that is keeping it cool so that I can wear this extra layer of camo to fight off the mosquitoes. They are bad here, nowhere near as bad as they were yesterday where I was. So I'm hunting a ridge by camp. I'm on top of the ridge between the area where we saw the elk the first day and the area where we saw the mule deer yesterday. So hopefully I'll spot something. The good thing about being up on a ridge like this is you can see a long ways. The bad thing is that if you spot something, you're a long ways from it. Another bad thing is typically the thermals are rolling downhill, so if there's something below you, it's going to scent you. And mosquitoes, I hate them. Fortunately, they don't make bumps, itchy bumps on me like they do most people. So anyway, that's what I'm up to now. Found a nice little muley shed this morning, and that was fun. But gonna see if I can find some elk and or mule deer today. As I was glassing, I saw an elk over on that ridge line, probably between 3/4 of a mile and a mile away. Watched it a little bit, just caught some glimpses in through the trees. I don't know if it's a bull or a cow. Saw that it was feeding kind of down and to the left of that meadow that's at the top of the ridge. And looks like it's feeding down into these thick trees down at the bottom. So I may not see it again, but I'm going to try to move in and see if I can bump into it. without it knowing I'm there, and see if I can get a shot. It's a tough stalk since I'm going to be blind when I drop off this ridge, but such is bow hunting. Well, I tried to find the elk that I saw from the ridge this morning. I dropped down, had to cross a couple of cuts, and my destination was a meadow that was somewhat in the path that it looked like he was following. And so when I got over there, I set up and started calling, hoping to call him in. The area beyond that, where he was going, was really thick and would have been hard to get a shot. And he was probably going to find a spot to bed down. And I certainly didn't want to kick him out of his bed, especially with another week to go. So hopefully he won't go very far. But anyway, I set up and called for a while and didn't... nothing came in, and then the wind switched on me and started blowing in his direction, so I just got out of there. Okay, got a bull about 3/4 of a mile over there. Same general area where I saw that one this morning, so I'm assuming it's the same one. So, I want to get a picture of him and go see if I can get closer. It's the afternoon of day 7, and I'm up on the ridge where I saw the bull yesterday from 3/4 of a mile away, but I'm here just a few hundred yards from where he was yesterday. I came in here this morning and spotted an elk a short distance away behind some trees. I just saw the back end of it. Crossed the canyon to move in on it, and never saw it again. So I set up to call and didn't... I wasn't able to call anything in. Hunted around, didn't find anything. Heard some cow calls, and then realized it was some hunters. Went and talked to them, and they're having the same kind of luck we are. Not as many animals as we would expect in this unit, and tough access, and lots of mosquitoes. And so, anyway, but I'm back here with the mosquitoes this afternoon, and hoping that an elk, maybe the elk I saw this morning, has bedded down and will get up soon, and maybe I'll get a shot. That's what I'm hoping for.